Hey peeps, welcome to NasTime Adventures. I'm really excited about this one today. We have the brand new Rapid Pack tent from Lanzerac. This is a Queensland company that is distributing now across Australia. Now let's start with understanding why you need a tent like this. Now, one of my biggest tips when out camping is the quicker you can set up, the quicker you can enjoy. I'm always looking for ways to improve my setup, streamline it, so I can have everything set up in as minimal time as I can. I came across this tent a few weeks ago at the Four-Wheel Drive show in Brisbane, and I was really impressed. Now, you may not have seen this style tent much in Australia. They aren't exactly new, but they are relatively new to this country. So for us, this is probably one of the first introductions to what I call the hexagonal tents. What that offers you is a really quick setup time, comfortable space, and good protection against the weather. As you can see, it's nice and high, it's a lot of comfort, it's gonna fit 3 to 4 people. In fact, it fits about 3 single beds plus your bedding quite comfortably. Definitely suited to a small family, couples, or even singles. Now, before we go over some of the features this tent has to offer, let's show you how quickly it can actually be set up. It comes with padded shoulder straps that can be adjustable, nice heavy duty zips that open from the front to almost the rear. It is padded at the bottom. It's made of the nylon, same material as the tent by the looks of things, and nice big pull tabs on the zippers as well. Nice feature as well is they've got these Aussie straps on the back just to clean it up a little bit when it's traveling and it's not flapping around on top of the car or anything like that. You can see the size or the length is decent length. I'll put the official measurements and specs up on the screen. Fits in the back of my ute, which is important because there's a couple of other quick setup tents that can only be set up on top of the car, which for me can create some problems for some people in particular. I personally don't like to have my tents on top of the roof. They get dusty, wet, all that sort of stuff. So if you can store it in the car, definitely an added feature. Setting this up is supposed to take around 2 minutes. So this is obviously my first time. I have watched an instructional video online from Lanzerac and it looks pretty straightforward. So let's try it for ourselves. Let's take out the extra poles that you don't need straight away. We'll get the tent out of the bag and lay down. Now, of course, it does come with some pegs. These are actually glow-in-the-dark pegs. They look pretty decent. Definitely better than a lot of the smaller pegs that you get with a lot of tents. So, take out the straps, and now the actual setup. So just unfold it all, lay it all out in the direction that you want. Now, we've got the door here facing the front. Now, you don't need to peg it down, but it will make life a bit easier if you do. Now, obviously, if you've got some bad weather, you're gonna wanna do strap it down for sure. Then what we do is we get to the sides of the tent and bounce these out. Now, move around all 4 sides. Nice big pull tabs. Obviously this has moved around a bit, but as you can see, it's already taking shape. So we go inside, lift up the top, and now we can start preparing the fly. It's where you're gonna need your 4 little poles in there. And then just clip in the final pieces. Now, as you can see, it really is that easy. There's no center poles or anything to get out of your way, and there's no poles to thread through, just a couple of small poles just to get the awnings out and give you a bit of extra weather protection. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Now let's talk about some of the features this tent has to offer. Of course, I will put some of the more specific details up on the screen, but as you can see, it has plenty of space. Beautiful colors with nice and bright doors to make it easier, obviously, to find at night. Nice big pull tabs for when you are setting it up. Now, because of the way this tent is set up, it's almost like a spring action. So you pull out the sides and it just opens it up, pushing the walls out and giving you a little bit more space inside. Now, I'm actually quite impressed with these doors. on which there are two, one on each side. As you can see, they've got the layer on top, the flap on top, to prevent any water from getting in, top and the bottom. Just gives you a little bit more protection against the weather. Inside, you've got this beautiful fine mesh. Interesting as well, we've actually got a little bit of an opening here, which is great for kids for climbing in and out, so you don't have to worry about the zips wearing out prematurely, or obviously kids getting a bit rough with them and wrecking them. Now, moving over to the windows here, as you can see, super fine mesh, and there's actually two windows on one on each side. Ventilation is really important. Airflow is good, obviously, when you're trying to sleep at night and it's a really hot night and get a bit of airflow through, but also in winter when you wouldn't expect to have the windows open, but the reality is, got a few people in the tent, even a couple, it can get really steamy in there and you get a lot of condensation. So really important to be able to open the windows, even if it's just a little bit. With this flap over the top, you can have some ventilation without any rain or bad weather getting in. The roof here, heavy duty material. It is silver, so it's going to reflect any sun, help keep it a little bit cooler. And it's actually lifted off the roof, which gives you a nice space of air, which helps keep the tent a lot cooler during summer as well. This tent overall is obviously designed for a quick setup, but it's designed for practicality as well. So it does have a floor in there that you can unzip if needed. Helps with cleaning, packing and that sort of stuff. Now moving inside the tent, you can see this ventilated roof that it's going to help with the condensation obviously, and release some of that hot air so you don't get that moisture build up inside. Now it does also have this hammock up the top here that hangs quite nicely, and that allows you just to put your personal belongings. The floor, heavy duty, can be completely unzipped. There is also a little zip area where you can bring your cords in on side. As you can see, the frames here are pretty solid and nice spring action pushing the tent out. Now once it's pegged to the floor, you can space it all out quite nicely, and there's quite a bit of space inside. It's actually really comfortable and roomy. For one person, more than enough. A couple, it's going to be really comfortable. When you start getting into families, 3 or 4 people, it starts to get a little bit more restricted inside, but giving you plenty of space still. Now there are pockets on either side as well. That just allows you a little bit of space for your personal belongings. Now I'm actually 5'7", and as you can see, there is plenty of space inside for me. So lots of comfort with the walls pushed out. It really does give you just the feeling of having a lot more space compared to a lot of the traditional tents where the sides come in. The big test now is to see how quickly it can actually be packed up and how well it fits in the bag. That can often be a problem with a lot of tents. As you can see, it fits nicely back in the bag. It was quite easy to do, as quick as it was setting it all up. So I'm pretty impressed with it overall. Of course, don't forget to put your pegs and your poles back in the bag, and you're ready for your next adventure. If you are looking for a tent that's quick and easy to set up with lots of space, I definitely urge you to look at this one. I'm not affiliated with this company. I have borrowed this tent and I will be sending it back. Of course, I hope to get them involved in an upcoming Legends for Charity big camp out. That's happening in March 2026. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in that. Great camp. It's bringing down people from all around Australia to camp together, share their experiences, and of course donate money for a couple of big charities. So hopefully you get involved in that. Hopefully you'll have a look at this tent. Meanwhile, until the next video, happy camping. We'll see you then.